billions to be made there, to be carved out and to be taken. The capitalist European and North American powers have carved out and taken the timber, the bauxite. They have taken out of these countries. These countries are not underdeveloped. They're overexploited. They're overexploited. They're overexploited.
And welcome to another edition of the Lall Show on Kaieteur Radio 99.1, 99.5 FM. Thank you so much for joining us. This evening, Mr. Lall, the man of the hour, has a very packed program for you guys, a very packed presentation. So sit back, relax, enjoy, and call a friend, tell a friend, and tell them that the Lall Show is on Kaieteur Radio. Before we get into Mr. Lall's presentation, just a few housekeeping matters. The phone lines will be open so you guys can contact us. 622-222. Send your comments, your questions, or you can also join us on our Facebook Live or Kaieteur Radio's Facebook page where this program is being live streamed. You can send your comments and your questions there. In the studio with me this evening, I have our very, very special guest. I won't call his name, and we will be joined by a senior journalist of Kaieteur News, Mr. Kimal King, in just a short while. So with that very short introduction, I'd like to hand the baton over to Mr. Lall to begin his presentation. Over to you, Mr. Lall.
Good night, guys in the studio, and once again, good night to all of you. Several front page comments appear in the Kaieteur News for a very long time now, asking serious questions about the state of affairs going on in this country. And none of them are being answered by our leaders. It's a sign of where we are and where we are heading, brothers and sisters. Let me say good night again to all of you, to all of Guyana. It's a pleasure being back here with you tonight. I'm very happy and delighted to have gotten so many calls of congrats from so many people who I don't even know. I've been getting so many thanks from so many of you. I just want to tell you thanks for listening. Tonight, I want to talk a little on two press conferences that was held by Exxon Mobil and Vice President Dr. Jagdeo. Exxon held its own Exxon press conference was held only to talk about the burning of natural gas out there and nothing else. They were very specific in their invitations. Mr. Jagdeo, on the other hand, talked for 2 hours and said little or nothing of substance. They both think that we, the citizens, are uneducated, fools, and idiots. I want to talk about the flaring of gas out there first. What is natural gas? What it means, and what it can do to all of us. Before I get to that, let me say this. I believe that ExxonMobil is running this country and not a finale or the politicians. every day that goes by, more and more I am seeing that we are in trouble and great danger. The coalition government and this new administration is not working in the best interests of Guyana and its people. Their actions, silence, and what little coming out of their mouths speaks volumes as to whose pockets they are defending and looking out for. I have talked in length about insurance. Matter of fact, I did a special program on it in which I said that Exxon, Hess, and CNOOC, those are the three companies that is running the Stabroek block out there. They were granted permits licensed by Dr. Vincent Adams, the EPA head, based on an arrangement and understanding that they will sign a document taking full responsibility over and beyond what the local market insurance they give to Guyana. 2 years have passed and we are yet to get a document signed by them. In simple terms, Guyana, we have no insurance if and when an oil spill occurs in this land. Something that is so important, we believe that the government should have put that on the front burner to address, or at least put out a statement. Instead, Vice President Jagdev held a press conference and said little or nothing about it. He had to be asked that question by one of my reporters. And hear clearly what this guy says. Listen to me. I am going to play what he says when asked that question about insurance. Could you please play that?
Has the government received any guarantee from Exxon and its partners that the parent companies will accept liabilities for any oil spill or natural disaster?
The thing is that you see what this has been an issue in the insurance policy. So that has been a long-standing issue, and you know what the answer is. So you're not going to get a new answer from me now. Right now, it's on the incorporated company. But we believe that the liability passes to the parent company. Internally, we believe that, the way it's written. The thing is that as we move forward in the new licensing arrangement and the new agreement, these things have to be clarified crystal clear.
You hear that, Guyana? Brothers and sisters, fellow Guyanese, you hear the question and you hear the answer given by our Vice President when asked. He was actually laughing. This is like a plaything, it's like a toy. Insurance doesn't matter to us. The man actually brushed aside that insurance question on Exxon, saying he believed that Exxon, Hess, and CNOOC would pick up the insurance bill, although Guyana has no guarantee in writing. You hear me, Guyana? We have nothing in writing. Can you guys believe that? Coming from the mouth of a man who runs this nation as president for 12 years and back in government as the first vice president of this country? Come on, guys. No, I didn't hear that during his press conference. And you guys didn't hear him too. I am not talking about the renegotiation of the Exxon contract yet. I'm talking about our safety and protection for ourselves and that of our neighboring countries. And you guys hear what this man is saying. He is hoping them will pay. My goodness. This guy is out of his mind. He is definitely out of his mind, Guyana. I wonder, what if he would accept an insurance for his house signed by the security guards of an insurance company and hope the owners of the insurance company will pick up the bill in the event of a fire? Would he? That is where these people, yes, our leaders have Guyana at present moment, where insurance is concerned, Guyana. Our vice president appears to have more trust in Exxon and the rest of the oil companies than a signed contract. And in the same breath, Jagdeo told Guyana they will make sure that they, the government, don't make the same mistake they made with Exxon, with the other oil blocks. This is not laughable. It's serious business these chaps playing with our livelihood and future generation. He is actually saying it's okay, Exxon. You guys don't have to sign taking on any responsibility. It's okay. It's okay, Guyana. That's what he said there. It's the same thing he said when asked about Exxon deals a few months ago. Let me repeat. Exxon deal with Guyana is the worst in the history of mankind. Every country on earth got a better oil contract than us in this 24th century. And instead, this man, Jagdeo, tell this nation how he will ask. Just ask Exxon to correct that so we can buy milk for our picnic. He said, they will not make the same mistake with the other players, them. What is he telling me and you, brothers and sisters? Them ain't planning to ask Exxon for correct that one-sided, lopsided, no good, illegal oil contract. It's okay. Exxon, yeah, I'll take everything. That's what he's actually saying. To Exxon and to us. You guys see where we are heading? You guys see where these leaders are taking Guyana? No insurance, no renegotiation to come. Wow. Wow. People, please wake up. Listen to them and listen to me carefully. We are in danger. And on top of that, we will become paupers, left in debt with these type of attitude from our leaders. You know, I talk about debt, left in debts. Nigeria had to pay ExxonMobil, Royal Dutch Shell, $3 billion to clear operating expenses owed since 2010. Exxon paid off, but I'm still owe Shell almost $917 million. They also owe Total, another oil company, Chevron, and Eni oil companies. they are yet struggling to pay. That's where, with that attitude of our governments and our politicians, both and in all parties, Guyana is right there already, like Nigeria. Let me ask you guys this, Guyana. You think this is by accident or coincidence for him to say he will seek insurance from the others and not Exxon? You think it is by accident or coincidence for him to say we will get better from the other oil blocks and not better deal from Exxon? Come on, guys. Don't let this man insult our intelligence. No, man. Don't let him. Don't let them. Please. Please. These guys are selling us out for whatever is in their mind or what is in there for themselves. Wake up. There is there's no other sane reason for one to think otherwise. No. Mr. Jagdeo has not even said he will ask for the full insurance the people agreed to. Or he will ask for a renegotiation of Exxon deal. The man just saying they will not make the same mistake they make with the other oil blocks. You guys listening to me carefully? I didn't say that. I played a piece of video in which he spoke yesterday at his press conference. And you heard the grin and you can see the smiles in his face. How happy he is to say, well, we believe. All right, we believe. You guys understand what I'm saying? Guys, please, this man, Jagdeo, is endangering our future. I beg you, don't let him get away with this. Them give away the oil blocks already for free, in which we get in crumbs. We get in no taxes. No one checking what's going on out there as to how much oil is going out, getting away on a daily basis. We have no say on their spending that me and you, Guyana, have to pay. And yet, you guys trust this man's words. I told my staff many times, I don't trust a word from Jagdeo's mouth, much less a sentence. Not a word from him. You guys have here, during his press briefing, if you looked at it, on who is looking out for our interests out there, guys. What is going on in this land? Who is in charge? You people don't find this strange? This serious things going on, and all the leaders look like they fall in a coma. Monday I spoke about Suriname. You guys see what Suriname got as to what we got from this oil well. Stand up now, man. Please. Please. Say something. 2 years, these people didn't give us full insurance coverage. And you still gone ahead and grant Payara license. You hear that? 2 years. Them know we ain't get insurance. And they still grant Payara license. And accepted $9 billion cost. Man, not even an idiot, not even a junkie will allow that to take place, much less a government. And a man who's run this country for 12 years as president. Brothers and sisters, you have nothing to get and great danger ahead of all of us. Our children will be born in debt, just like how them African countries indebted to them oil companies long after the oil companies took away all their oil. That's exactly where we are, and our future generations will be just now. What I have said there tells a lot what Exxon, with the biggest oil block, can be allowed to get away with under these leaders we have. All of them. Smell the coffee, Guyana. The taste of a good life you're dreaming of. A good life, that good life is becoming a nightmare before you wake up tomorrow. I will leave this topic here for you to go to bed with. And let me hear from some of you out there on 226-7453. Please be respectful and don't call names. Before I move on to the flaring, another disaster for us all, let me hear from you guys. Please. The phone is open.
All right, Mr. Lall. Thank you so much for that. At this point in time, we'll take a very quick commercial break and we'll be right back. Do stay tuned.
GPL Public Advisory. Major planned maintenance. Saturday, February 13th, 2021. On the west coast of Demerara, from Lenora to Dekenderan, from 9 hours to 15 hours. And on the east bank, Essequibo, from Zeelat to Namrik, from 9 hours to 15 hours. Weekly planned maintenance allows for routine inspection and maintenance of the network to provide customers with a reliable supply of electricity. GPL, empowering you.
From the publisher of Kaieteur News and the man of the hour for this show, Mr. Glenn Lall. Without further ado, I will ask Mr. Lall to continue, but just let me give you a few housekeeping tips so that you can get into the conversation too. You can call us on 226-7453. That's 226-7453. You can comment or question on the Facebook Live on Kaieteur Radio right now, or you can send us a text on the company phone at 622-2222. So, Mr. Lall, what do you have to tell the people again?
Yes. There isn't the phone has not rang, so let me continue. Flaring. Exxon had their own press conference on flaring, and it was held online. The things them say and the answer them give led me to believe that Exxon is running things the same way they did all over the third world countries. Yes, they can do whatever they feel to do to all of us. So, Guyana, brace yourself for whatever comes our way. Be it spills or bills, there will be no compensation for the fishing industry. no compensation for the pollution of our waters, the air we breathe, the seashores they will destroy, our crops, our health, our hospital bills, nothing, absolutely nothing we will get out of them. Exxon calling the shots. Hear it yourself. You hear it from yourself, from the horse's mouth, Vice President Jagdeo. So from now on, please don't question our leaders. They can't and they will not say or do anything about ExxonMobil. They are our boss. We are Africa all again, all over again. Think about it. You better stand up now and stand up against all of them. We have no protection whatsoever, and the leaders doesn't care. You hear me loud, Guyana? They just don't care. What this country, Guyana, is allowing Exxon to do with that burning of the gas out there, if we don't get together and get them to stop it now, me and you and future generations will live in hospital beds for generations to come. Brothers and sisters, with that amount of toxic, poisonous gas, them burning in the air every day and every night, Exxon will have us making children with disabilities and illnesses you have never seen before. The sickness that will befall us will certainly send many of us to the graveyards before we know it. The greed, I learned this, the greed and love of money has no bounds. Some people don't care what they do, who they harm, how much they destroy, what and who they destroy in the pursuit for themselves. It's the way some of them see life. Yes, some of our leaders see life. Idiots think that way, Guyana. Selfish, all and only for themselves in Guyana. We have seen what oil companies did to so many countries, and yet we are not learning. Our leaders not seeing the devastation they have caused with over 1 billion people all over the world. The conditions in which oil companies leave these people land. It's unthinkable and unimaginable. Just Google these things, guys, and you will see for yourselves how people are living after the oil would have finished. During the special press conference Exxon had 2 days ago to talk only about flaring. Yes, burning the excess natural gas coming up during production. They were very specific on the topic of flaring. And what they have told us is nothing but to deceive us all. Nancy's story, they tell us, is a set of crap. Lies and more lies. They were very, very deceitful in almost everything that they said. I wish I went to the university or a university to find the right words to describe what they are doing to us and what they want us to believe. Let me say this, Guyana, and very simple. Flaring can't stop if the oil companies don't burn it, re-inject it, or sell it, it can't stop. Don't make anyone tell you otherwise. There will always have excess gas they don't need during oil production. Don't forget that. Never. Why? Because they cannot re-inject it all. It is only so much they can use back in the well to help the flow of the oil. It's like a sealed cup with gas, oil, and water. You know, if you get a sealed cup and you up top of the cup you find the gas. In the middle of the cup is the oil, and at the bottom of the cup is water. Push a straw into that cup, you will get all three. You will get gas, you will get oil, and you will get water. All three will pull up at the same time. The gas, the oil, and the water then separated. Let us throw away the water in the ocean back, which is called produced water, which is deadly, and let us keep the oil. Re-inject how much gas is needed to give them the pressure, and what they don't need, they burn it. And let them don't tell you that they can re-inject all the gas, 88% of the gas, like they say they re-inject. No. If you re-inject too much gas, you can blow up the oil well. So these things have to be carefully measured. So this thing they're telling you about re-inject is nonsense. The rest of the gas, they have to burn it or sell it. And is the and. Gas has no value for Exxon, CNOOC, or Hess. That's why they're pushing ahead for Guyana to set up this gas to shore plant. It is to take that garbage, the excess gas they don't have use for, and that they don't want to burn, but they have to burn. They have to burn because they have no use for it. So this crap them pushing in our heads that compressors break down is nothing but pulling wool over our eyes and in our face. Them people just have no shame. Them think we're all fools that can't see and understand what the oil business is all about. And your leaders is silent. Since they started bringing up oil in December, flaring started. From then to now, and I guess all of you would have been hearing the excuses, one after the other. Compressor breakdown. You got to go for Germany for fix. It can take 3 months. When it come, they fix it up. It take weeks. After weeks, it broke down again. And now they say seal damage. It's all crap and more crap. Now they're saying some third part seal of the compressor damage again. Guys, compressor is not the problem. Them have to get some fool to take the extra gas, or them have to continue to burn it, to flare it, and pollute us. Because like I said, it has no value for them. They don't make money from them. Again, let me repeat. They can't re-inject what they don't need. They just cannot. They can't re-inject to give more pressure to bring up the oil. It is that plain and simple. So the excuse they're making one after the other is just making us idiots. They're too damn disrespectful, Guyana. And that is what they did to all them countries because of corruption with the leaders. And the people are left in the dark as to what is going on. Jagdeo right now, if you listen to his press conference, he's actually leaving us in the dark as to what is going on. You know what he said during the press conference? Oh, we will have to fine them. We will have to fine them for flaring. You know who's paying the fine, Guyana? It is coming out. It is coming out of our profit oil. So what you're fining? Who you fining and for what? But that is to make you and I feel good. We government working. We gonna fine them. It's pure nonsense, Guyana. It's the same thing. It's the same thing going on over and over. It's a good thing, Guyana, that Kaieteur News is getting to understand a little bit so we can expose all this crap they want to push down our throats. Like I said, Exxon and our leaders, eyes pass all of us in this country. Them whole separate press conference to tell us crap. During the press conference, hear what Exxon said. Them currently flaring at 16 million cubic feet of poisonous natural gas into the atmosphere per day. Them only came out to speak to the press because we were reporting on that. So them come up with a lame excuse to push down our throats. Gas compressor fail. The gas compressor ain't working good. We got to send it. 16 million cubic feet poisonous gas every day into that air from the last 7 days. That amounted to 176 million cubic feet. Guyana, with another 8 weeks, what I say it will take to fix the compressor, they will flare 1,072 billion cubic feet of poisonous and deadly chemicals into our airspace. You know what that is equivalent to? It is equivalent to the removal of over 1.6 million acres of our forest. Yes, 1.6 million acres of our forest. The size of Region 2. Pomeroon, Supanam, and a small section of Region 3, Essequibo Islands, West Demerara. Wow. I hope you guys listening to me. You want to hear the dangers of flaring? Let me give you a little bit. Based on our research, the flaring of gas is extremely damaging to the environment. A special study conducted by the World Bank notes that flaring releases more than 250 dangerous and deadly chemicals that will cause cancer and many other diseases. Nigerian scientists had explained that flaring in the Niger Delta, an area in Nigeria, has polluted the air and water and caused the formation of acid rain. All of this, they said, has caused negative outcomes in the communities there, including chronic and recurrent respiratory diseases, abnormalities in the blood, increased susceptibility to certain diseases of the blood, and many others. You hear this, Guyana? Exxon boss says. This guy just have the audacity to insult us further with our intelligence. When asked to justify the flaring above the amount set by the EPA head, Dr. Vincent Adams, here is what he says. Nimhan pointed to the need for money for Guyana. You guys hear that? No, you didn't hear that. Let me repeat it. Them flaring because of our needs. We need cash. We need food. That is what them want you to buy, to believe. We hungry. The crumbs they're giving us. We're going to die if we don't get the crumbs. What a Guyana you living in. What a Guyana we live in. Guyana, where are you? Are you listening? How much more worse can this become, man? You tell me. What other level of damage, destruction, and disrespect you can take from these bastards? Huh? Then he went on to say that they are working with the EPA, the Ministry of Natural Resources, GGMC, to ensure that they are striking the right balance for Guyana, not for them. Everything they do is for Guyana in mind. Yes, that's what he said. Everything they do is for Guyana in mind. Jagdeo, Harmon, Irfan Ali. Yes, you hear that? Everything they do is Guyana in mind. We need money. We need them crumbs. The man says none of us are happy to be flaring above the limit. We're just trying to strike the balance to save Guyana, to give our babies milk. They're not telling you how much the 99 them taking and the one they left in with us, and the bills that we will be indebted with. God, I beg you, please help this nation and its people. I beg you. Hear this man, more cunning words and fancy language. He said, we all know the times that we live in. It's challenging times. COVID-19 has shut down a lot of businesses, revenues for the country, and so it's important that we can do our part to contribute. Woo! So that's what we are trying to do. Work with the government to find the right balance to give we little money. Wow. We are not happy to be where we are. You hear what he said? He said we are not happy to be where we are. We are just trying to find the right balance for Guyana that ensures that we are still generating revenues for the country while maximizing the amount of impact that comes with that. And so, you know, that's the balance that we struck at the moment. You guys hear those words? Those are not my words. I quote the Exxon man here, the boss that is running the Guyana operation. What's his name?
Alistair Routledge.
Yes. Yes. I don't even want to remember his name or pronounce his name. This is how much disdain I have for this man. To stand on a press conference and tell us this country, oh, we're working for y'all on behalf of y'all. That's their defense. Their love for your wealth and mine, Guyana. Their love for your wealth and mine. Yep. Yep. We are a set of fools who don't understand business or the English language. Yes, that's what he wants us to believe. Them said them flaring because Guyana has to get money. What money? The piece of crap they throw at us? Huh? Come on, Guyana. Please wake up and see the light of the day. And please do not wait to take firewood to see in the night what you can see clearly tomorrow in the day. Please, I want to end it there. I think I've spoken enough. Thank you for listening. Let's get on. I have decided, because many people have said we're not giving them a chance to call in and to contribute. I have decided to cut the shows and extend the time. So I'm here to listen to you, and let's have this frank discussion continue.
All right. Thank you so much, Mr. Lall, for your very informative presentation on what is happening with Guyana's oil and gas sector. Before we jump into the question and answer segment again, just a reminder, the phone lines are open. This is an interactive session, and we want to hear from you. You can call us on 226-7453, or you can send us a text on 622-222. If those avenues do not work for you, you can also message our Facebook Live. We have a caller online. Hello, good evening, caller. You're tuned into Kaieteur Radio.
Hi, good night, miss.
Good night.
You and Mr. Lall and the panel.
Thank you. Good night.
My take on this, I enjoy it. In fact, I lifted on the highway and I listened to your program. I thought I just listened to your program on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Saturday.
Thank you.
And you just keep banging all the time, Mr. Lall. Keep banging. Because, as you said, the APNU, AFC, and the PPP, everybody's silent. And we are citizens of this country. What is the next step we can do to rectify or what we going through? What can we do? Because if the opposition say nothing, what can I do? What can we, citizens of this country, do to get the solution to what we're going through right now? That is my take on it. Have a pleasant night.
Thank you. Thank you. What can we do? The first thing you have to do, and you need to encourage people to listen to us, read the newspapers. So once you're educated and you understand where you are, that's the only way we can bring about changes. We have to confront and speak to our leaders. But if we don't understand, then we can't do or say anything. That's why I brought this program on to educate the nation.
All right, we have another caller online. Good evening, caller. You're tuned into Kaieteur Radio.
Hello, good night.
Good night.
Hi, can I speak?
Can you speak up a bit, please?
Praise.
Yeah, good night. Hello.
Yes.
I don't know what to say. I sent a text just now. I don't know if these people, them, don't have a heart or they don't care for anybody. Hello?
Yeah, we are on.
Yeah, I don't understand if these people don't have a heart or they don't care for anybody. These people, man, I don't know. That mouth with them attack all the lie with them, I eat with the mouth.
That's a good question, my brother.
I really want to know if the mouth with these people tell all this lie with them, I eat with the mouth.
I don't know, brother. I can't answer that. That one a little too tough for me. Thanks. Keep on listening, though.
These people, them Guyanese people need to stand up against these people. You can't just leave these people and say let them do, because the long run, the Guyanese people are going to punish.
We done punishing right now.
Guyanese, not only we, the children to come are going to punish. We have to do this, and they're not going to benefit. They're going to lose everything. They're going to lose everything. They're not going to benefit. They're not going to gain from it.
Yep. I
They're
want
gonna
to.
lose it and just look fools, penny wise and pound foolish.
Yeah, I want to tell you. We already in the red with only. Listen to me. With only 3 wells. Lisa 1, Lisa 2, and Payara.
Imagine,
wait.
you know the story with the fox and the crow? It gonna happen with them? The fox and the crow story gonna happen with them?
Thank you. Let me just answer that question. We already in the red, brother. You see Lisa 1, Lisa 2, and Payara? We have a bill of 18 billion US dollars just for that tree, in which we had no say. And guess what? You know what is 18 billion? Getting 200 million US dollar a year? That's like, how many years, man? That's like, wow, maybe 50 years of our oil profit to just pay that. And we are already on the go for a 4th and a 5th. 19 years.
90,
90 years, yeah.
Glenn, I have one question for you.
Hold on. Before we take your question, there's a caller online. Caller, good evening. You're tuned into Kaieteur Radio. Hello, good evening.
Yeah, good night.
Can you speak up a bit, please?
Yeah, good night.
Good night.
Good to Uncle Lall.
Thank you.
Yeah, well, with all them thing we're hearing with this flaring, I want to know if Guyanese ain't open up in their eyes because we got to do something what they say with the health. And the next thing, just like how Guyanese been watching them ballot box all the time camp out, just so we got camp out in front of Exxon Mobile place.
Excellent point.
No lie.
Thank you.
I wonder for no Guyanese in second, we is not Nigeria. Guy gonna be the first man in front of them and protest.
Thank you.
Big up me Uncle Lall, and Allah must protect him all the time. Lord Shiva must protect him, and Jesus must protect him. Big up Uncle Lall.
All right. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Yes, Glenn. Where is our not environmental protection, where is our environmental, the environmentalists? And we have the Iwakama Reserve. ExxonMobil gave them $10 million US dollars, and they're quiet. The flaring that you said is equivalent to 1.6 million is not destruction of 1.6 million of forest. It's like burning of the forest.
Yes.
And all these toxins are emitting in this country. We the people who have all kinds of cancers. We the people who pay for that. Where are the Guyanese people? Where's your outrage? Where is your what Guyanese people should be protesting for them to stop the flaring? We are the ones. Our children will pay the penalties for all of that. Our children will be in the doctor in the hospital. Where will we get money to pay for private healthcare? The politicians them will go to foreign countries and get health and get the health look after. What about the poor people of Guyana?
Yes, that's a good question, Bernard. But what you need to understand is that when you have leaders who are not saying anything, when you have Exxon is saying that they're working in the best interests of Guyana, that's what Guyanese want to hear, that, revenue is coming. They don't know that these people is making them fools. You understand? So this is why you need people like us to come out here and to speak to you and let you know what they're doing to us. They're making games. They're playing games with us. They feel we are all Paku.
All right, Mr. Lall, we have a caller on
Yes.
the line. Oh, all right, continue. We lost our caller.
They are urinating our heads, Glenn, and tell us it's urinating. That's what ExxonMobil is doing to us.
Well, no. Our government leaders
Both
are
of
doing
them,
to that.
they are together. They are together.
Because that is exactly what Jack Dave did yesterday in the press conference to us, telling us, well, yeah, we can get better insurance from other people. Come on. He has never been, Jack Dave has never said a single word against Exxon. And I know the answer to that. And they will never say anything bad or against Exxon. Exxon is allowed to do anything to this country. The answer is there.
All right, Mr. Lall, we have another caller online. Caller, good evening. You are tuned into Kaieteur Radio. Hello, good evening.
Yeah. Hi. Good night.
Hi, good night.
Good night.
Hi, good night. You're on air. You can speak.
Yeah. Good night, Mr. Glenn.
Mm-hmm.
Concerning the health problem, when the previous government was there, PPP in the days when they get out of power, and the next government get in, Mr. Barjak, you go wrong and writing papers that the oil money that every citizen is supposed to get $3 million, and now we hear nothing but it now. You hear me?
Yes, we hear you.
So what is it now with the oil? They ain't saying nothing, and then again we got the crop coming up now with the rice industry. We ain't hearing no price for the paddy now.
Thank you.
Okay, good.
Brother, we haven't gotten anything yet. We basically got nothing. We are still beggars. We are begging for arms and aid right now. And we are the richest country on earth with our oil reserves right now. Everybody coming here. And we ain't getting nothing. We have gotten not a cent. Don't worry about last year, 185 million. And the little 28 million or 20 million royalty we got. That's nothing. We are begging for more than that when the day comes.
We have another call online. Sorry. Caller, good evening. You are tuned into Kaieteur Radio.
Good evening to you, Mr. Glenn.
Good evening.
Yes. I want to say one thing. In this country, we have 4 types of people. We have Indians, we have Negroes, we have Coolie, and we have niggers. And you use a word. We are not stupid, but you have to use the word to the Coolie and the niggers them. Get us.
All right. We had to cut that caller because he was using some words that are not allowed on the radio station. So I'd like to remind all our callers, on all our listeners, to please be respectful and please not be explicit. You can convey your point without cursing or using explicit words.
My brother, we had to cut you off because the description and the language you're using is against our radio policies. Sorry about that.
Kemal, over to you.
Kemal?
Okay. There's a message that we got on the company phone. Somebody saying, Mr. Lall, you're talking about flaring all the time, but a lot of people don't know what flaring is. So they wanted to know if you could perhaps make it simple for them.
I just explained that. Flaring is the burning of natural gas, excess natural gas. There's three things that come up with oil: water, oil, and gas. The water, when it comes up, it's being separated at the top on the rigs and the FPSO. And the water goes back into the ocean, the oil goes into the ship, and the gas, they burn it or they either sell it. And if they can't sell it, they just have to burn it. That's as simple I can put it.
Okay, well, what I'll do is I'll try to add to what Mr. Lall said. So you hear people talk about global warming a lot and climate change. And for those of you who do not understand, the flaring of gas would be one of the things that are directly linked to the global warming of the temperature and global destruction. And this is why in the oil industry, these companies, which have historically done so much of the damage to the earth and to the climate, they have to take the lead now. If we're going to get anywhere in terms of saving the planet from global warming, they have to take the lead. But this industry is so corrupt that many of these companies, they would not put in the effort in to protect this world. And so ExxonMobil is one of the worst companies where this is concerned, because ExxonMobil, it has been reported that ExxonMobil discovered that it projected what its operations and the operations of the oil industry would do to the environment decades ago. ExxonMobil knew. And so ExxonMobil has been getting many, many lawsuits saying that it knew and that it decided to hide this destruction from the world so it can continue to damage the environment. And so with flaring, when you flare natural gas, you release greenhouse gases into the environment. And an excess of these greenhouse gases, when they're released into the environment, they directly contribute to the warming of the earth. And that warming is what causes things like the hurricanes and the rise in sea level. And Guyana is a country where our population is directly affected by something like that because most of our population lives on the coast. So you may want to sit back and allow ExxonMobil to do what it's doing because you don't see what the effect will be on your life. But when you sit and you think about it, when you understand the science, you will realize that you have to get up right now and not allow these people to do what they're doing to you. And I'll tell you something that I realized today when I was writing a story a few hours ago, and I laughed to myself. The duplicity that this company has shown. Sometimes in the public statements they make, they really tell on themselves. So the press conference that ExxonMobil had on Monday, the country manager said that they're flaring 16 million cubic feet of gas per day. And so the vice president, Dr. Barajagdio, had his press conference just the day after. And when he had the press conference, he revealed that the company is actually flaring up to 18 million cubic feet per day. So in a sense, the country manager wasn't lying. They were flaring 16 to 18 million cubic feet per day. But they present the facts in such a way that you are actively misled about the damage that they're having on the environment. And this is not just reflective of this one thing that this ExxonMobil representative has said. This is the modus operandi for ExxonMobil since it has come to Guyana. And this is the company's modus operandi in its operations throughout the world.
That's right.
This is the level of regard that it has for people. And I'll tell you something else. Because there are a lot of people who would see ExxonMobil making donations of millions of dollars to Guyana. And when they see that, they're happy about it. And they say, oh my God, ExxonMobil cares about us and this money is going to improve this country. The first thing I'll tell you about that, every single donation ExxonMobil makes under the very unfair contract that the former Minister of Natural Resources, Mr. Raphael Trotman, signed, every donation, it can be recovered. And this is something Kaieteur has reported on a lot. And ExxonMobil is very embarrassed by this provision. They don't want people to know about it. So when Kaieteur News reported on it, ExxonMobil will rush to say, no, we will not recover the donations. We will not recover it. If you will not recover your donations, why would you negotiate for such a provision inside the oil contract?
That's right.
We have to trust them, right?
We have to trust them.
They take your own money, give it back to you, and we have to trust them. I have one thing, okay. ExxonMobil is polluting our atmosphere by flaring the gas, and they're polluting our waters, they're polluting our air and polluting our waters.
Everything.
And the water that polluting the fishes that we eat, all those heavy metals get into fishes and get into our food system and get into our bodies. And when we're in the hospital with cancers and all those sickness, it's ExxonMobil we want to blame. But they won't be here, we won't get nothing from it. We won't get no compensation from them. We will have all the doctor's bills and we will have that to pay for.
Yes.
So Guyanese, you decide what you want to do.
That's what I've said earlier. You know?
All right, Mr. Lall, we have another caller on the line. Caller, good evening. You are tuned into Kaieteur Radio.
Hi, good evening.
Hi, good evening.
Yes, I'm calling to talk to Mr. Lall.
Yes.
Panel. Hello?
Go ahead.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yes. Two quick things. One, the government and the opposition, they in ExxonMobil pocket. And nobody wants to speak out because they know it's going to cut. Two, when the Vice President was in the opposition seat, he said that when he get back this country, them get back this country, when them in government, them going to cut the 50% that Mr. Harmon give to the ministers them with them take for themselves. And he do nothing up to now. You hear nothing about it. Yeah, thank you.
Well, I am of the same view that what is going on in this land, and knowing how oil companies behave, the first thing they do, I wouldn't put past nothing what you have said there. Maybe what you've said there is correct. They would have all lined their pockets. So this is why you can't hear. You're not hearing a word from any one of them.
We have another caller.
It's sad. It is sad.
All right, the calls are rolling in. Caller, good evening. You are.
Good night to you, Mr. Glenn.
Hi, good night. Can I ask you to step away from your radio set?
Thank you very much.
All right,
okay.
You can go ahead.
Yeah. I like how you all educating the people in Guyana, you know, and just keep up that good work, Mr. Glenn.
Thank you.
You see what people don't understand, the disaster that ahead of us, earthquake and storm and all these kind of things. You know what I mean? I think, watch me. I don't want you getting a call into politics. You just keep up the good work so you're doing there. You know what I'm telling my brother?
Thank you.
I think you should come out, open it publicly, educate people, let us see disaster ahead of us, and they cannot see. They jump in, hey, I will get high, Guyana rich. But what we get in, not even the crumb, Mr. Brenda. Go have a pleasant night.
Thank you. The man is so right. Not even the crumbs we are getting. Not even the crumbs you get in Guyana. What our leaders have allowed Exxon to do. Let me put it this way. I have talked about it so many times with private individuals. It's like you having a birthday cake. It's your birthday and you invite guests and the oil company walk in and they cut your cake. They share your birthday cake with you and your guests. And the crumbs that fall off the cake, listen to this one carefully. The crumbs that fall off the cake, not the crumbs that fall on the table, the one that falls off the table. That is what Exxon giving us in Guyana. That's how I project, that's how I equate the oil company with a birthday cake.
All right, we have another caller. Caller, good evening. You are tuned into Kaieteur Radio.
Hi, good night. Hello?
Let's go on. Let's go.
Yeah, good night.
Good night.
Yeah. What I would like to, I appreciate the panel and the discussion again, but as Mr. Glenn had made a point that our environment is destroyed by the flaring of gas. But I am wondering to know what Norway is funding us to keep our forests and what they are doing, Norway. Because remember, they are paying us to keep our forests.
Yes.
And they must have known about the dangerous effect with the flaring of gas that is poisoning the air. And as Mr. Lall mentioned, the Region 2, part of Region 3.
Mm-hmm.
And so many forests could be destroyed.
Mm-hmm.
And aren't they saying anything also? Do they know what is going on?
Thank you. Thank you.
And I would like to make a comment also. You know, many people hearing what you are saying, even I myself, my anger is venting, but what I am doing, we all need to control our comments and try to, because it is foolish to vent our anger, I think, on this program about people that we know that is carefree, are knowing, especially those in high authority. And many of us want to vent our anger toward these people. I think there's a wrong way we will be going if we can't do it on this program. We need to have control and speak intelligent so that you cannot be affected. And we, the Guyanese, can continue to learn more on this program.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. Very smart guy. My staff, I have 2-3 of my staff who beg me every night. Says, boss, you need to control yourself and try to be calm and try to speak to the people so they don't see or feel your anger. But it's a difficult thing, you know. Having been 26 years in this business, I've seen a lot. I've seen more than many of our leaders in this land. And for the last 5 years, I've been looking, I've been peeping, I've been seeing, I've been learning about this oil and gas deal. And I sometimes just can't help holding back my anger, my tear, my emotions. It's a difficult thing. I'm just a human. So I'm trying, and I think I'll get there very soon. I've been, you know, tonight I had to take a vodka with coconut water before I come here. And Monday night I didn't. But Monday night I was calm. But back to Norway paying Guyana. The question you asked, Norway paying Guyana, if anybody paying heed to that. What Norway had offered Guyana, the 250 million US, to keep our forests intact, to preserve our forests. At the time, hey, we didn't find oil. And Norway is an oil-producing country, to which Norway is part of polluting the atmosphere in which we live. So what they do, they pay people like Guyana, who doesn't have oil, to safeguard their forest, because that's part of the arrangement. That's part of their responsibility to have a clean environment and a clean earth. But now Guyana find oil. Guyana has to find, because Guyana will be polluting it too. Now Guyana has to find some other country to pay them the same way Norway was paying us to protect and safeguard our forests. So we don't know who. We don't know, first of all, we don't know who will pay that, where will we get, or how much will we get, or if we will ever get money to pay any country to keep the environment as clean.
Right. The call is cut.
I'll just add to that, Mr. Lall.
Yes, sir.
If Norway is to pay us $250 million a year, and we haven't even made $250 million a year from our first year of oil production, what are we paying anybody?
No, Norway hasn't said that they're going to pay us $250 million.
Well, they have paid us a lot. They've paid us a lot of money.
They said they would pay Guyana $250 million, right, to safeguard and to protect the sections of our forests. They did say we can use part to make our livelihood, but that was money they offered to us, and we were so hungry, having Jack Dave them always know to beg and to do other stuff that I don't want to talk. They just grab on to the people money. The people said you were supposed to do this and you were supposed to do that with the money, and they have not done anything. They have not met the requirement. Make that Exxon stop at one time the fund. Say, listen, we will not give you because you have not been using it to the benefit of the people. Right?
So I have one question for you. In case there's an oil spill, the oil spill that BP had in the Gulf of Mexico, they're paying up to now over $60 billion US dollars.
68 billion.
Okay, good. If we have an oil spill in Guyana, $68 billion, an ExxonMobil, you think they would pay $68 billion? They would pack out the traps and leave. and we the country will have to pay that. Our total budget is 1.5 billion US dollars a year. So how much of our budget will we pay? We take all our budget.
100 years.
How many years will it take to pay back?
100 years.
And not only that, we will have lawsuits from all the Caribbean countries. We'll have lawsuits from Venezuela,
Exactly.
from Trinidad, from Grenada, from Barbados. All those countries have lawsuits. Where will we find the money to pay them? If Exxon doesn't have insurance, they will not take on to pay that money. They will just pack the bags and leave.
They will leave, but leave us in debt.
Yes, we will have to
which
pay.
Our future generation will have to
We'll
pay
have
those
to.
bills.
Legally, we are responsible because
Right.
our oil will have been destroying the environment. We will
Correct.
have to pay that.
Correct.
You don't even have to talk about that oil spill. You can talk about the ExxonMobil oil spill that happened in Alaska. 30 years ago, ExxonMobil experienced an oil spill in Alaska. And even to today, if you go to Prince William Sound, the part of Africa where the spill happened,
Alaska.
you will still see remnants. You'll see
Yes.
the oil in the water and the oil on the land.
Yes, it's there. It's there.
30 years later, it's still affecting people.
Right, but that's an American company polluting America. If we are Guyana, we will be polluting other countries, and we will be responsible for that to pay those countries back reparations. We will be legally responsible to pay those countries back for all the damage to the environment, to the people, to everything. All this, we will have to pay that legally. We are responsible for that.
Yes, the Gulf of Mexico, the U.S. make sure that the oil companies pick up all the bills.
Right, the Gulf of Mexico was a British oil company
Yes,
in
they
America, in American waters, and the British oil company in American waters had to pay the American people over $68 billion.
Exactly,
Right?
exactly.
All right, Mr. Lall. I think that has brought us to the end of the program. But before we close, I'd just like to ask you for closing statements.
Yes. Guyana, please wake up and see the light of the day. And please do not wait to take firewood to see what you can see in the day. Please. I know that our leaders can't defend what they did to this nation. They can't defend what they and the deals they would have signed with these oil companies. Here, I am prepared because I know they wouldn't come on this radio. I am prepared to ask them to send somebody, school them, teach them. Say, listen, guys, you go on Kaieteur radio and defend our positions. That's the next stage I am putting this thing. Send your people to defend it. So we can understand where our leaders is going and how they're thinking. And I think that's a fair challenge now. I'm not asking the leaders to come on board. So I'm inviting all of you, all the leaders, don't come. Train somebody, school them and send them to come and say, listen, I am here to represent the interests and I'm the mouthpiece of a PPP party or a PNC party. We need to hear where you guys are going. Do have a good night, and may God bless all of you.
All right. Thank you so much for your closing remarks, Mr. Lall. And with that, we've come to the end of this evening's program. I'd like to say a very big thank you to everyone who called and everyone who sent text or whatever comments. And do tune in to our program, same time on Friday, same place, Kaieteur Radio 99.1, 99.5 FM. Do have a great evening.